2025 IDWIM Ambassador, and it is an honor to formally introduce you to Rano Kosimova, an expert in strategic management, human capital development, and sustainable growth within Uzbekistan mining industry with over 25 years of experience. As head of organizational development at Navoi Mining and Metallurgical Company, Rano leads initiatives in organizational and talent development, fosters an inclusive corporate culture, and enhances Navoi's global recognition. In 2024, she initiated Navoi's partnership with IDWIM to empower women in the sector and created the podcast Golden Glow of Talent, which promotes women in the mining industry. Beyond her professional life, she values travel and her role as a mother, driven by a commitment to inspiring leadership and sustainable industry development. We are delighted you could join us today to mark the 2025 International Day of Women in Mining. Welcome, Rano.
Thank you, Anna, for a warm welcome and kind words. Hello, everyone, dear colleagues, partners, and friends. It's a true honor for me to speak to you today on the occasion of the International Day for Women in Mining 2025. Allow me to say also Assalamu alaikum to all participants who have joined our event from my home country, Uzbekistan. Today is a special day to recognize the strengths, contribution, and leadership of women in our industry, uniting us across borders. I am deeply grateful to the IDWIM committee for the honor and responsibility of serving as an ambassador for this inspiring global movement. The stories of IDWIM volunteers worldwide, filled with strength, resilience, and dedication, are building blocks for a more inclusive, fair, and human-centered industry we all believe in. And today I would like to share my own story, the path that brought me to the field and to the company I'm proud to represent, Navoi Mining and Metallurgical Company. My story began in the south of Uzbekistan, in the ancient city of Shahrizars, the birthplace of the great leader Amir Timur. Its historical center is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Growing up surrounded by historic palaces and stories of heroes, I live in a world without smartphones and internet, where imagination and tradition shaped our dreams. Like many girls at that time, I was raised in a world of clearly defined rules. Girls were expected to be caretakers, boys were told they would fly into space. That was narrative in our school books and in many homes of that time. Did I dream of a career in mining of that period? Of course not. But everything changed in 1991 when Uzbekistan became independent. We were swept up by a wave of transformation, exciting but uncertain. We suddenly found ourselves in a new world, full of unknowns, but also full of possibilities. This transition was not easy, especially for a teenager in a small city. But youth has its own strengths, a kind of boldness. This quality helped me embrace the new, to be curious instead of afraid. I am especially grateful to my mother, a strong woman who taught me and my sister to keep going. Even the path ahead was unclear. She always said, "The road will open for those who walk it." This motto has accompanied me throughout my entire life journey. In times of change, women are often the first to feel the weight of stereotypes, and Uzbekistan was no exception. Rethinking our role in a society has become an essential part of our national journey. Like many women of my generation, I searched for role models, figures who could inspire not only personally change, but also a belief that transformation was truly possible. And I found that strength in our history, in the history of Uzbekistan. I was deeply inspired by the Jadid movement that emerged in early 20th century Uzbekistan, especially the women who bravely stepped into public life and pursued knowledge. Their pursued education, often in European universities, proved women in the country with deep traditional rules could be more than homemakers. These pioneering women laid the foundation for the inclusive, modern Uzbekistan we are building today. And this vision is at the core of the national strategy, New Uzbekistan 2030 strategy, which prioritizes inclusive growth. Gender equality is becoming a reality today as reform-minded women step forward with purpose. Uzbekistan is among the top 5 countries in the pace of gender reforms driven by a comprehensive strategy from an equal pay laws to a 40% women representation in government and expanded digital education for women and girls. In just last month, UN Women officially opened its office in Tashkent. This meaningful step forward for all of us working to empower women and girls across the country. My professional journey was not carefully mapped out. It was a mix of readiness and opportunity. In the beginning, like with many of you, it was hard. Technical language, especially considering that my background is in finance, male-dominated teams, and inner doubts. I often find myself wondering, can I really do this? Over time, that question was evolved, and today I ask myself, how can I help other women walk this path with more confidence and fewer obstacles? That shift in perspective has become a driving force behind much of what I do. Dear ladies, dear gorgeous participants, at NMMC, we're committed to creating that very path for others. For many years, the mining sectors, including our company, which contributes over 6.5% to the national GDP, remained a male space. Slowly, but change is underway. I'm proud to work for a company and for a country where women are increasingly supported, empowered, and heard. And this progress is no accident. It stems from deliberate efforts within NMMC, regular field visits to gather feedback from our sites for women who work on sites, the active leadership of our women's committee led by Sabuhat Nazarova, her name I would like to highlight today, and personal initiatives like already you have heard as my podcast, Golden Glow of Talent, where we spotlight women's career stories. We have also launched Voices of Women in Metallurgy at the 2023 Mining Forum in Tashkent, a growing platform for networking and idea sharing that is building momentum and hope. And of course, no one of this would be possible without support from our male colleagues. And I'm truly grateful to the leadership of NMMC, General Director Kuvandik Sanakulev and Deputy Chairman for Transformation Evgeny Antonov. For me, women in mining drive sustainable growth, wiser decision, and new professional values, not just diversity. Central Asian women's voices are increasingly influential globally, especially in sustainability, inclusion, and leadership, and we are proud to contribute. As an IDWIM ambassador, my mission is to connect Central Asia with international women in mining movement. And I believe together we can shape a future where women collaborate, inspire, and transform our industry. And to finalize, I would like to underline that it doesn't matter whether you were born in a big city or a small town. What matters is where you are headed and the heart you bring to that journey. My story is not unique. It reflects the journey of thousands of women sitting across this event today in different countries, slowly or quickly, but most importantly, steadily changing the face of our industry. Together we can do more, and today's events proves that. And dear participants, dear today's gorgeous ladies and women. As I often say, a woman's strength is not in the loudness of her words, but in their depths. Her strength is like water, soft but capable of shaping stone. Women are not just working in this industry, they are redefining what it can be. Thank you so much for your trust, your support, and for working this journey together towards a more inclusive and sustainable future for our next generation. Together, we are shaping a new reality. And I proudly say today's motto, I am mining and I belong. Happy International Day of Women in Mining, dear colleagues. Thank you so much for your attention.